Alright, hello everybody, my name is P-Man. This is my theory, or this was my theory about how I was trying to figure out whether or not the doctor is actually back and if he will help us or not. But I found out I was incorrect midway through editing, so I kind of screwed up on that. I got a few things correct, so yeah, you guys can see my thinking. One of the biggest questions after the release of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 is how is the Doctor back? But I have the answer. So go grab your Mountain Dew, your snacks, and let's get into this theory. Back in Chapter 4, we destroyed Dr. Harley Sawyer, a freakishly intelligent, control-obsessed digital experiment whose brain and body parts were kept physically alive so that Leith Pierre, head of innovation after Elliot Ludwig's death, could retain Sawyer's knowledge and thinking without letting him roam free, burning theaters down. We destroyed his brain. So how is he back? And more importantly, will he help us destroy the prototype? Before answering that, we need to go back to Chapter 4. In the yellow VHS tape found in the warden's office, we hear a conversation between the doctor and the warden about the Omni-Hand. The key detail? With the doctor's digital form and the power of the Omni-Hand, he could help the warden get out. And somehow it worked. The warden got the Omni-Hand to the doctor, which means the doctor now has the ability to open doors, access systems, override facility infrastructure. In other words, he had control over Playtime Co. That detail is critical. If the doctor had full facility control, what's stopping him from installing something deeper? What if he had someone install a backup of himself in the lowest level of the factory? It likely wasn't him physically doing it because he's stuck in a computer, so someone else would have to know. And they must have documented it because there's a file that says that whatever is down there is the key to destroying the prototype. And only a human would be able to make an organized physical folder. That file implies something huge. The doctor is the key to destroying the prototype. But here's the contradiction. If the doctor is siding with the prototype, and he recognizes us at the end of Chapter 5, why would he help us? We killed him! Here's where my theory shifts. We destroyed his brain. Without a brain, he cannot think, he cannot adapt, he cannot change motives. So what if the doctor that's back isn't actually the doctor? What if it's just a backup, a save of his consciousness? A program full of his knowledge but not capable of a new thought? That would explain why he still recognizes us. If his consciousness was being constantly uploaded to the backup system while he was alive, then that backup would hold up-to-date memories. Recognition does not mean resurrection. But again, why would the backup help us? This is the hardest question. The doctor would never willingly help destroy the prototype, unless it fit his plan. So why would his backup? The answer may be a built-in failsafe. Someone had to understand how powerful the prototype could become, and who knew the prototype better than the doctor? If he predicted the prototype becoming too powerful and possibly betraying him, he may have created a backup. If the prototype kills him, someone else could take him out. But there's another possibility. What if he didn't put the failsafe code there? What if someone else did? Leith Pierre, another executive, someone who feared the prototype's growth. That would explain why a file exists labeling the doctor as the key. Okay, great. So here's the full idea. The doctor anticipated his own death. He had a backup created during Omni-Hand integration. That backup was stored somewhere deep within the facility. When we destroyed his brain, the thinking version of him died. What remains is a preserved system of knowledge, an information machine. And if that system contains a built-in override to force the doctor to help us kill the prototype, that's why the doctor is considered the key. Not because he's alive, because his system still exists. However, there are loose ends. First, why would the doctor create a non-thinking version of himself? A non-thinking version of the doctor would be useless to him. It wouldn't help him reach his goal. So maybe the doctor has come back and will help us, but will only help us to get what he wants. And he might potentially betray us. But if my theory is correct, why would he include the code built in to destroy the prototype? Maybe he didn't. Maybe someone else modified the backup. The doctor isn't resurrected. He's just his backup system. Crucial data that we can now use to defeat the prototype. And if the backup contains the override necessary to defeat the prototype, then the Doctor being back isn't true at all, but rather, the system will be an ally. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.